Hey everybody, it's Kneecap here, and welcome to This Week in WoW for the week of June 11th. As always, we will start off with Mythic Plus affixes. The affixes this week are Fortified, Incorporeal, and Sanguine. Again, that's Fortified, Incorporeal, and Sanguine. This is another terrible week, following up a terrible week last week. There is some affix news that we will talk about a little bit later in the video, as far as some affixes changing and stuff like that, and new affixes being added. We'll talk about that a little bit later in the video, but that probably deserves its own video on its own, frankly. So I don't know if that'll come out before this, after this, or whatever, but there was some changes to Mythic Plus affixes, and hopefully, regardless of what changes happens, hopefully we can get rid of some of these brutal weeks like Fortified, Incorporeal, and Sanguine. Now let's go ahead and talk about what's going on in the game. But before we do that, let's real quick talk about Patreon. I started a Patreon page last week, and we did have our first member sign up. That would be Rep Pally Rocks. I assume a Retribution Paladin viewer, which a lot of people watch the channel are. So huge shout out, thank you to Rep Pally Rocks. First sign up on the Patreon. If you want to check it out, it'll be in the description below. So in the game, unfortunately, on the retail version of the game, there's not a lot going on this week. So we do have the Battleground bonus event going on. If you need to do honor, or maybe you're coming back, for War Within and you're just trying to do some PvP for whatever reason, you do have that to do. But other than that, the retail version of the game is pretty barren. Mop Remix is in full swing. Tons of people who are playing casually, which is kind of what I said to do, are to max power. So if you are doing Mop Remix and you still have plenty of time to do that, there's a lot of people with max power. There's a lot of people even now that all the super, it's not just the super sweaty people that are maxed out in Mop Remix. A lot more maybe nicer people is maybe the way to say it. And you can get some people to help you out. There's people that are doing groups specifically to help people out too, and help you kind of speed run your character through some of the earlier grinds and stuff like that. So Mop Remix is in full swing. You still have plenty of time on that if you're still working on it. But obviously most of the news and stuff is going to be coming out of the beta now. It's going to be coming out of PTR, as we're going to see here. And let's talk about some things specifically here. We have a few articles here I pulled up just for this because, this is all pretty interesting stuff. So we do have some on Friday, June 14th, members of World of Warcraft development team. Okay, so this is the PvP Play with the Blues. So War Within beta. So if you do have access to beta, on June 14th, they're going to be playing with the players. Like the devs are going to play with the players and check some stuff out. It's hard to say, 5 p.m. Eastern, I guess, on June 14th with 2 hours of play testing. So you can check that out if you're more of a PvP player. You have a chance to actually go there, and it's Battleground Blitz and Deep Hall Ravine. That's a new Battleground, I believe, Deep Hall Ravine, June 14th. So play with the devs there. That's something going on this week. On the beta, as well as the beta, I believe, is the Nubrar Palace. So that's the first raid of War Within. This is going to be 13th, 14th, 20th, 21st. All kinds of dates for the raid testing here. And I do believe this is on the beta here. Let me make sure. Feedback testing. I believe this is on the beta, though. If not, and I say I believe it is because over here we also have Mythic Plus testing, and this appears to be on the PTR realms this week. So this is going to last for a little bit, June 13th through June 18th, and you can do Mythic Plus testing with all the things. And I told you a little bit about affixes being changed. And so we can talk about that a little bit here. Like I said, I think it deserves its own video. But they're basically adding these affixes, and they increase the damage done by certain like spells or certain bleeds and things like that, right? And so there's pluses and minuses to this. And like I said, I think it deserves its own video to break it down, these kind of new affixes. There's some huge fatal flaws in this, right, though. When you see, 1 week it's arcane, 1 week it's fire, 1 week it's whatever, right? But like, if you think, the first thing you might think of is, don't DHs have like all the magic schools or whatever? And so that makes that a little bit overpowered. And so I think they're going to have to look into this a little bit, but I like the idea of it. Basically increasing enemies' power, but also increasing power of players to kind of make up for it in a way. That's kind of the thought behind it. So it's trying to be Kiss Curse, which is what players kind of seem to like. But I don't think this is necessarily the best way to do it. But like I said, that deserves its own video entirely. As for me, I have been playing a ton on the beta. If you've been watching the channel, you've seen that because I put out a ton of videos this week, mostly Retribution Paladin based videos, and then like one general WoW video, I think, this past week. Doing tons of stuff on there, just having a lot of fun, frankly. Just playing something new, playing Herald of the Sun, playing all that kind of stuff for Rep Paladin on there has been quite fun so far. I'm trying not to play too much and burn myself out before it even comes out. But yeah, I've been having a ton of fun. I guess it's worth saying I didn't do a video on it. You probably already know by now. But the actual release date, since I said burn myself out before it comes out, is actually going to be August 26th, I believe, is the formal release date. Now, if you did get the early access, that deserves its own video too. I'm not in favor of early access by any means, but if you have the early access, it's going to be on the 22nd. If you're just going to buy the game regularly at the time, it's going to be the 26th. And then the season doesn't start until into September. So the actual season won't start for a couple weeks after the launch. So you have plenty of time to level up and stuff like that. Even if you start on the 26th, it doesn't matter if you start the 26th or 22nd. As far as time to level, you should have plenty of time before like the raid opens up, for example. So that news did come out as well this past week. So there's a lot of little news tidbits that came out. I was too busy doing Rep Paladin stuff to really cover every single thing as it came out. But to be fair to me, some of this stuff just came out before I started recording this video. I recorded the video the day before and on Monday afternoon or evening, and some of this news actually just came out. So to be fair to myself. But yeah, that'll be it for this one. As far as I go, like I said, I'm going to be doing more and more beta stuff. I'll probably try to do some raid testing, and I will also I just downloaded the PTR to make sure I could do some dungeon testing as well. So I'm really hoping to get a working details. If not, I'll try to log everything, and we can go through everything. And I will be doing my best to pump, and I'm going to try some things. I've had some really good comments suggesting to try some different talents and stuff like that, and so I do plan on giving them a shot, what I think about them and stuff like that. So yeah, keep those comments coming, by the way. Like when you're like, hey, I played with this talent, you should try it. Like if you think it's really good, I'll try it, and maybe I'll agree, maybe I'll disagree. But I do like to see that and get other people's thoughts on things. So that'll be it for this one this week. As always, I do ask you to please subscribe to the channel. If you already subscribed to the channel, I encourage you to check out that Patreon that I talked about at the start of the video. And other than that, everybody, have a good one.